What's up, lords and ladies? Welcome back to another video on this channel. So in today's video, we're gonna be doing blue-tongued skink versus bearded dragon. As you can see right here, I got my boy Wilbert. He's just chilling on my shoulders. I don't think he wants to be in the video. He kind of just is a little bit shy. He has his black beard. It's probably because I'm yelling. Okay, it's because I'm yelling, right? Okay, he agrees. But basically, in today's video, I wanted to cover the two and compare them. That way, any of you guys out there who are looking to get either a bearded dragon or a blue-tongued skink could make a decision and go based off either this video or a couple videos that you guys have been watching, you know, of the two. So, straight off the bat, I've been making videos about bearded dragons for a good while now on this channel. So definitely go check those out if you haven't already. But before we go, Wilbert, you have anything to say? I guess not. But let's just get started with this video. Let's go. All right, bearded dragons. Now these guys get the name bearded dragons because of this black beard that you basically see. Males will display it a lot more than females. They'll puff out this black beard either to show dominance or if there's a female presence. Right now, I think he sees my cheat sheets of the blue-tongued skink over here. And he basically is kind of showing his black beard. But Wilbert has also been showing a lot of signs of wanting to breed, and mainly I wanted to display him a little bit more because lately he's been showing a lot of the black beard because he sees the female's presence. Now bearded dragons, they are just an amazing creature when it comes to you know, any person who wants to get a lizard but doesn't want anything that's too crazy. Now Wilbert being a special case, he is more of a alpha dominant bearded dragon that's not afraid of head bobbing or showing his dominance and his presence when it comes to any bearded dragon, or in this case me just recording a simple video. But most of the times bearded dragons are very docile and very easy when it comes to handling. You could just chill with them on your shoulder, but it does sometimes take a little bit more work, especially if you get one of a young age. You might have to put in those few hours, a few weeks, and just put in that kind of work. So bearded dragons, every single day you're gonna have to do some sort of maintenance, whether it's cleaning their enclosure, giving them food, as well as giving them water. You know, if you have a timer for your lights, you don't have to worry about turning on the lights, but every single day you're gonna have to do some sort of work. And if you have a bearded dragon that is a little bit more aggressive or defensive, then you're gonna have to put in those extra bit of, you know, hours each and every single day to make sure that you're training him and you're also taming him down. Now, when it comes to diet, bearded dragons do require a very, you know, unique type of diet where you're always either switching it up, especially if you have a picky eater. So if you have a bearded dragon that for some reason does not like any crickets, you know, feeding it superworms and having that technique to eventually switch him over to crickets is the right way to go about it. I've done tons of videos of you know, how to maybe properly do that, but at the same time, something that you also want to take in account is that bearded dragons do need a good variety in their diet. So either in their veggies, you need to be always switching it up. So one week you might want to give them a particular, you know, salad, next week a different particular salad, and keep switching it up. Usually I like 3 different kinds of salad for the months. So one month I'll give them, you know, collard greens chopped up with, you know, butternut squash. The next week I'll give them dandelions chopped up with carrots, and thereon and so forth. You know, I like switching it up throughout the month, and then next month it will be completely different, of a different type of salad. So that goes to show that, you know, bearded dragons, you know, they are very simple once you get a good routine, but they do require you always being, you know, a little bit more aware and switching up their diet as well. You know, then again, I'm a little bit more extra when it comes to keeping them, but you know, my bearded dragons have been doing very well. So hopefully you guys out there are learning a thing or two about caring for your bearded dragon. Now let's talk about enclosure setups. The bearded dragon, when it comes to the setup, you need a very dry enclosure. So an enclosure that is basically around a 40-gallon to a 60-gallon is usually ideal for a bearded dragon. It really depends on the bearded dragon size. As you can see, Wilbert here, he's a little bit on the smaller side, so he could get away with being in a 40-gallon. But if you have a really large bearded dragon, you know, increasing the size of the enclosure is important. So it's very important, if you are switching to a 60-gallon or a 80-gallon, you also increase your light bulbs. So you increase the temperature inside of the enclosure, because sometimes it's a little bit harder to reach with these bigger enclosures proper ideal temperatures for these creatures. And trust me, temperature is everything when it comes to bearded dragons. I've noticed, you know, bearded dragons that don't want to eat, the minute you just put it 10 degrees higher, they just snap out of that sleepiness and start eating and pounding food and growing. So it's very important that you also take into account the enclosure size for these bearded dragons. I have my melamine enclosures back here. As you can see, they're nice and big for my bearded dragons. They keep, you know, good temperatures and thereon and so forth. But I made, you know, countless videos on how to take care of a bearded dragon. This is more of a quick comparisons of the two. So I hope that you guys are, you know, sticking around and also, you know, learning a thing or two. And if you are planning on getting a bearded dragon or a blue-tongued skink, definitely do more research than just watching one video. But with that being said, let's just move on and talk about the blue-tongued skink. Let's go. Okay, blue-tongued skinks. Now I have my boy. Oh my god, he's gone. All right, I managed to hold them. So blue-tongued skinks, as you could see, not all of them tend to be nice and docile. Now you do get the occasional blue-tongued skink that is nice, but what I've noticed is that the Indonesian blue-tongued skinks tend to have a little bit of an attitude. As you can see, he does not want anything to do with this video. Now I do plan on you know, making more videos of him. I did want to try to tame him down, you know, for the past couple months, but definitely has not been working, and I definitely am not doing a good job. But these guys are just amazing. They get the name blue-tongued skink because of the blue tongue that they display. So you can see right now, it's kind of displaying that blue tongue, mostly I guess to show that, you know, he might have a little bit of venom, but aside from, you know, the bite hurting, you know, there's not much harm that these guys can do. They do tail whip as well if they feel threatened. So right now, I don't want to stress him out too much. I'm going to place him back inside of the enclosure and just speak about him while he's just chilling underneath his hide. Okay, so blue-tongued skinks. I had to put him back inside of his enclosure because he definitely did not want to be outside. But these guys are very similar to a bearded dragon when it comes to lighting. They require UVB as well as some sort of heat source. However, the temperatures are completely different, as well as the humidity. Blue-tongued skinks could take a lot more humidity than a bearded dragon, so you definitely want to keep things damp. Blue-tongued skinks, depending on which one you get, also, you know, their diet could vary, so you definitely want to keep an eye open when it comes to certain behaviors when you see your bearded dragon. So in my case, he did not want to be handled. He was basically hissing, as well as he was kind of, you know, peeing everywhere. So that was a, you know, clear indication that he just did not want anything to do with me handling him. And that's what happens with some blue-tongued skinks, especially the Indonesian ones. They tend to have more of a temperament. If you get something like a northern blue-tongued skink, I've noticed that they are a little bit more chill, but you know, sometimes you get individuals that are just a little bit more aggressive than others. Now, their setup is pretty straightforward. For an Indonesian blue-tongued skink, you want to give them some sort of place that they could bask, just like this, you know, cork here, as well as areas that they could hide. So this thing is nice and big for a blue-tongued skink. It provides him shelter in case he feels threatened by anything, or he just wants somewhere to hide and sleep, as well as you also want to give them multiple places that they could just, you know, find, dig, and you know, get away from, you know, anyone either crossing. It just makes them feel a lot more secure. Now, I do want to do a little bit more of a makeover when it comes to his setup. There's a lot more you know, bigger enclosures that, you know, some of you guys out there who own blue tongue skinks might also have. So definitely adding a lot more things to your blue tongue skink enclosure is always better. That way it gives them a little bit more security and places that they could hide. When it comes to diet, this is where a bearded dragon and a blue tongue skink start to become a little bit more different, even though they are completely different creatures. I've noticed that blue tongue skinks, you know, their diets are very you know, broad. You could feed them different things like eggs and also dog food, even though it's more recommended that you whoa, what's wrong, boy? Even though it's more recommended that you give them, you know, mostly insects, as well as you know, give them fresh water. Okay, right now I don't know what he's doing, but he's definitely not happy that I'm, you know, recording this video. But as you can see, their structure and body is a lot bigger than a bearded dragon, as well as when they shed, they almost shed like little tiny parts, almost like a snake. And yeah, he's definitely not wanting to be in this video. He is now gone. Okay, yep, he's gone. Where'd he go? But yeah, blue tongue skinks can eat a good selection of food. As you can see, he's right there just chilling underneath this piece of wood. So if you do plan on getting a blue tongue skink, you know, take into account that you might have to be, you know, purchasing a little bit more extra meat, a little bit more extra things, so he could be happy. Now, even though blue tongue skinks can be a very simple pet to take care of, they are definitely a little bit more on the meaner side compared to a bearded dragon. So if you are new in keeping reptiles, I'll definitely recommend doing a little bit more research on the blue tongue skink that you want to get. If you are getting an Indonesian blue tongue skink, you know, good luck taming him. I'm still having a hard time with this guy. So you can see he is just hiding away. That's why mostly he's not in my videos as much, because it does stress him out when I do make these videos and I talk, because they're very intelligent. And as you can see, he is just, you know, looking at me, as well as breathing really heavily. He does not like the fact that I'm kind of making this video and interacting with him. He just wants me to give him food and just to leave him alone. So if you are planning something like planning on getting something that is a little bit more social, I definitely recommend the bearded dragon over the blue tongue skink. But then again, each individual reptile is different. Sometimes you get some bearded dragons that are more meaner, and sometimes you get blue tongue skinks that are a little bit more nicer. So it really depends on the situation and on the individual. So definitely do your research. Don't just watch one video and take my word for it. But you know, what I've experienced between the two is that, you know, blue tongue skinks can be a little bit more meaner compared to a bearded dragon. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Leave a couple comparisons between the two. Just write one thing that is different between the bearded dragon and the blue tongue skink. That way anyone out there who is looking into getting one or the two could also look in the comment sections down below and get more information, because there's a lot more, you know, similarities, as well as a lot more things that are different between the two that I'm obviously missing out in this video. But I just wanted to put this video out there showcasing the two, because I do own both a bearded dragon and a blue tongue skink, and I thought some of this information might help someone out there. So if you guys enjoyed this video and learned a thing or two, give this video a thumbs up. You know, we're almost reaching 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is amazing. So hopefully you guys are staying safe, you know, also staying hydrated. It's all about staying hydrated. You see, you haven't drank water this whole entire day, and if you haven't, go sip some water. Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I'm Lord the Lion. Keep the blood pumping, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.
You gotta hit that notification. Hit that notification. Hit that notification button, baby. You gotta hit that notification. Hit that notification.